We begin with an arrest in a New Hope murder case. Police say a suspect was found out of state this weekend. 32-year-old Jack Guy was arrested Saturday in a rural apartment in Polk County, Wisconsin. He's a suspect in the fatal shooting of 23-year-old Carnell Johnson Jr. Johnson was shot in the chest in a New Hope townhome on October 24th. He later died in the hospital. Law enforcement in Hennepin County previously issued a warrant for Guy's arrest. He was booked in the Polk County Jail, and Hennepin County officials are working to extradite him back to Minnesota. Meanwhile, Brooklyn Park Police are investigating a weekend case of shots fired that left behind a trail of damage. Police responded late Saturday night to a report of shots heard in the 7700 block of 89th Avenue North. When officers arrived, police say they found a house and a vehicle struck by gunfire. It's unclear why the shots were fired and whether the home struck was the result of stray gunfire. No one was hurt in the incident. As we went to air Monday afternoon, no arrests had been made. You may have noticed on your drive to work Monday that a widely used highway was back open. Westbound Highway 55 reopened over the weekend after the project was delayed a day by weather. MnDOT crews are resurfacing the highway between I-494 and Highway 169. The project also includes trail updates and highway access changes. Keep in mind, some lane closures in certain spots are still in effect as the project continues. Collectors of sports cards and memorabilia could soon have one less place to shop for items featuring their favorite player or team. Today in Business Matters, I find out what's next for Papa Hawk's Sports and Collectibles in Golden Valley.
I've pretty much always kind of been called Papa Hawk.
Sometimes a hobby can turn into a full-fledged career.
Faber got in his first fight, ended up in a box.
Really?
Good for him.
That's certainly the case when it comes to Mark Hochstetter, the longtime owner of Papa Hawk's Sports and Collectibles.
I bought my first pack of cards probably in 1956 for a penny.
From that first pack of cards, his collection grew. Then it grew some more. He eventually decided to retire from his corporate job with McDonald's and turn his attention to sports card and memorabilia shows.
And finally, one day we rented some space, put a sign up, and here we are.
That was about 14 years ago. Today, he's amassed a collection of 3,000 autographed baseballs, hundreds of framed photos, and 2.5 million cards.
A lot of memories here. It's almost like a museum.
However, Hochstetter says this museum will soon be entering a permanent off-season.
I'm in my early 70s. It's time to spend more time with my family, do some traveling with my wife, and if I wait much longer, who knows?
With the lease up in February, he's planning to slash prices and sell everything in the store piece by piece.
Maybe we'll get lucky and somebody will come in and buy it all. But otherwise, we'll sell it all. We'll keep selling on eBay, keep pushing stuff out that way.
Clearance mode will kick in sometime in the next 30 to 60 days. While this may be the end of an era, it's been a fun career.
Hey, not too many people can say that they ended their working career doing what they loved and their hobby. That's me.
Hochstetter says the store will likely be closed by February 1st, but if you have any interest in buying the store outright, to give him a call. A crew of Maple Grove fourth graders got their own viral moment on Sunday when they took part in the Vikings' annual Mascot game at halftime. Reporter Emily Haugen explains what went down at US Bank Stadium.
Hey, Vikings fans!
It's a classic scene, players rolling up for a Sunday night football game. But these athletes look a bit young for the NFL.
What's the mindset going into this game against Victor and his friends?
Oh, Blue should have just stayed home in Indy, all the way.
Oh my goodness, he said it!
Fighting words from Maple Grove fourth grader Cole ahead of the annual Mascot game.
Please welcome Maple Grove Youth Football Association fourth grade football team.
It was a once-in-a-lifetime experience for his youth team of 12.
He says, well, we'll put you on a list.
All thanks to head coach Tim Henry, who set the plan in motion.
About, a month ago, I get a text out of the blue, or an email out of the blue, and it's Joe Rush from the Vikings, who's their youth coordinator. And he said, hey, would you guys like to be in the halftime show for the Mascots versus the kids? And I said, absolutely.
Victor!
From there, the game was on.
We would just call out play 1, play 2, play 3, or play 4, and they knew what play to run, and we had to maximize our time then out on the field.
Touchdown, Maple Grove!
Cole's smack talk came back to bite his teammates.
Extracurriculars.
When Blue lost his shirt, Henry says that wasn't planned. But in the end, it was all in good fun.
They did a fantastic job just making the kids feel like they were NFL superstars. I mean, they just had smiles on their faces, so it was just a phenomenal intro.
It all ended in a tie, and with optimism that those same kids could be back at the bank again one day.
Touchdown, Maple Grove!
Emily Haugen, CCX News.
Finally, this segment, some people who might need to limber up after a marathon day of playing video games.
These guys have been all geared up all morning. They came in at 7:30 this morning to set up, and they are all geared up with all of their computers and monitors.
That was Saturday morning at Loose Line Brewing in Plymouth. A nonprofit called Gamers for Good put together a 25-hour charity marathon that, yes, involved playing video games like Civilization. Money raised helped support Gillette Children's Hospital, and it wasn't just video games, but board games too. A $5 donation could also put you in the fast lane.
We have a racing sim rig, which is basically, so it's the actual steering wheel and pedals, and so you're operating it just like you're driving a car and racing around a track.
So why 25 hours? Well, you can thank daylight saving time ending for the extra hour. As the event host, Loose Line Brewing expected to raise more than $5,000 to support the cause.
Several local teams and individual runners competed at the high school boys and girls cross country state meet at Les Bolstead Golf Course, and Chaz Moots has more.
It's the second year the state cross country meet has been at Les Bolstead. The Wayzata girls, the favorites coming into the Class 3A meet. Maddie Gullickson has had a fantastic season for the Trojans. She finishes in 17 minutes, 48 seconds, second overall in the state. Gullickson's teammate, Lila Golem, finishes 3 spots behind her in 5th, clocking in 18:04. Champlin Park's Abby Hibbs and Maple Grove's April Watson placed 32nd and 33rd, both crossing the finish line in 19:06. But the Wayzata girls win their 3rd consecutive Class 3A state meet in dominating fashion, winning by a margin of 34 points. On the boys' side, Wayzata also competing as a team along with a number of local individual runners. Future Gopher and Trojan senior Will Weber has one last kick and beats out Mounds View's Casey Poplar for 4th place in 15 minutes 30 seconds. Another Trojan, Alex Haig, places 8th overall, crossing the finish line in a time of 15:48. Champlin Park's Zachariah Muhammad and Maple Grove's Gannon Farrens both clock a 16:24, taking 37th and 39th. Wayzata takes 2nd overall in the state meet, 6 points behind Edina. In Falcon Heights, Chaz Moots, CCX Sports.
The Maple Grove football team is in the state playoffs for the 3rd time in 4 seasons. The Crimson showed why they are the top-ranked team in Class 6A in their playoff game against number 6 Eden Prairie.
The Crimson hosting the Eagles, first meeting between the teams in 3 years. Maple Grove's first offensive series of the game. Caden Harney throws to Bo Draheim, who looks like he gets in for the touchdown. Referees mark him short of the end zone, though. Harney scores on a quarterback sneak a few plays later, and it's 7-0. Late first quarter, and watch this run by Chuck Langama. First to the far sideline, and then the senior cuts it back all the way across the field, making guys miss tackles along the way. A long and winding 28-yard touchdown run from Langama. It's 14-0 Maple Grove after a quarter. Big 4th down conversion here for Maple Grove in the 2nd quarter. Harney steps up and hits Dylan Vocal for a 13-yard completion down to the 20-yard line. Next play, and the handoff goes to Langama, and he gets good blocking and goes untouched 20 yards into the end zone for a touchdown. 120 yards rushing on the night for him. It's 21-0 Maple Grove at the half. Crimson defense came up with big plays all night, including this 3rd quarter interception by Bo Thien that seals it. He takes it back for a 55-yard touchdown. The Crimson advanced to the state playoffs with a 34-0 shutout of Eden Prairie.
For the 4th straight season, Cooper and Armstrong met for a section championship in football. Jay Wilcox has highlights of this year's meeting.
Armstrong hosting Cooper in the Section 5 5A football championship game. Cooper plays well early. Beckham Van Vorst looking deep for Samaji Young, and they connect for a 43-yard touchdown. Cooper leads 7-0 after one quarter. After being shut down early, Armstrong gets on the board on a Dawson Franke keeper as they tie it up 7-7 in the second quarter. Late in the first half, Franke fakes left and then throws deep to Pharrell DeLine for the touchdown. Armstrong leads a close one 14-7 at the half. Cooper keeps coming though. Emmanuel Carmo out of the Wildcat powers in for the score, and the Hawks are within 21-14 after 3. Falcon star running back Kevon Johnson is bottled up early in the game by the Cooper D, but he gets loose here, bouncing it outside and scoring a 31-yard touchdown as Armstrong holds off a big challenge from Cooper to win 28-20 and return to the state playoffs.
It felt so good, and that's just a test. That's exactly what we wanted. We wanted a good game. And that's exactly what we want, get to the bank, or get to state, and then hopefully get to the bank.
Armstrong meets Alexandria Saturday in the 5A quarterfinals. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.